Sean Rye, reporting for RingWalk UK Media. I'm here with Michael Hennessy Jr. Michael, how are things going? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Sean. Just ticking over training. Got a fight coming up May 22nd, so I'm all good.
Awesome stuff. That answered my first question easily. That I was going to say where you at with conditioning, and have you got anything on the horizon? So what shows that on? Do you know?
May 22nd is my dad's show on Channel 5. A great card with a great main event. I'm not sure if I can mention too much about the main event and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of 50-50 fights on the undercard as well, and some top prospects as well that my dad's recently just signed. So it's going to be a great night and one not to miss.
Fantastic news. Your last fight obviously saw a move down to super welterweight. How did your preparation differ in the lead up to that fight? Was it a more strict camp and regime?
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm not really a middleweight, to be honest. My fight before that, I was weighing 11.4, but that was me just eating what I wanted, really, just walking around at my natural weight. And I think that the move down to light middleweight, it forced me to, eat healthy and be strict, and not having any cheats and stuff like that. And it was if anything, I felt a lot better and a lot sharper for it. So yeah, light middleweight's definitely my weight, and I'll be here to say I think even as I grow and mature, I'll still stay at light middleweight. It will just get a little bit harder to make. Yeah.
How did you feel physically in the ring that night? Did you feel a difference? Did you feel a bigger man? Did you feel stronger?
I felt very strong. I felt very sharp. I felt less sluggish, and I feel like if anything, I had more speed and more power, to be honest with you, because I'd done things properly in the build up to it, fueling all my sessions properly before, and, not putting as much rubbish in my body. Don't get me wrong, I still was having little cheats here and there, but not as much. And I'm looking to cut all of that out in the build up to this fight. It's just under 11 weeks away, and I'm more than on schedule. It's probably the best shape I've ever been in this far out from a fight. I wouldn't normally have this much notice for a fight, so it's great.
Yeah. So as you mentioned there, you'll more or less get a full camp. Do you know who your opponent will be yet, or is it something that you can't really...
I don't know. I don't know yet, to be honest. I just leave that down to the matchmakers. I'm not bothered. I'll fight anyone. So yeah, I haven't got a clue at the moment. I haven't been mentioned any names, but
yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, the only blemish really on your record was that one against Jamie Stewart, and I remember watching it, and you could see how sort of visibly shocked you were at that decision. And a lot of people had you winning the fight, to be honest. Obviously, since then, Jamie Stewart's gone on and given Florian Marco a decent fight. So in retrospect, no disgrace at all. But given that you thought you won, did that prompt the move down, or was it other factors?
No, the move down was needed anyway, because, I was taking the mickey a bit at middleweight. Like I said, just literally that's the weight I was walking around at. So I just thought my body was growing. I don't want to try and cut too much weight, but cutting down to light middle isn't really too much weight. That's the weight I should be at.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, I with the Jamie Stewart fight, I weighed 11.4, but the night before I actually ate something a bit dodgy in the hotel, and I got ill from it. And I was, everything I was eating and drinking after that was coming straight out of me. I was really dehydrated and stuff. And I weighed myself to go to the venue just before, and I was 10 stone 12.
Wow.
So I could see that in my performance, definitely. Everyone was saying I wasn't as sharp as normal. But despite that, like you say, I was very surprised to get the decision after watching it back as well. I believe I won the fight still. Purely on the cleaner shots. I feel like the referee was just scoring gloves and elbows, really, to be honest with you. But yeah, it wasn't a great performance, but yeah, I believe that I won it. And if anything, you got to take the positives from every situation. And I feel like the pain I felt from that blemish on my record, it's brought out a more spiteful side in me, which I really did need, because I was too sportsmanlike and stuff, and I believe it's taken me to another level, and it's going to be the making of my career. I really do believe that. And like you say, with Jamie Stewart going on after to getting the draw with Florian Marco, and then Florian Marco getting a great stoppage win the other day over a great fighter like Ryan Cholton, it just shows that I was a 20-year-old kid when I had that fight, and it just shows the level that I've been matched at. It shows I've been matched tough for my age.
Absolutely. Obviously, people will know the connection with the sport through your dad and all the work that your dad's done. Was your dad keen for you to pursue a career in professional boxing, or was there any sort of hints that he wanted you to help work in the promotional side of things?
He'd much rather I be helping in the promotional side of things, that's for sure. But from a young age, I was set on doing it. It's his own fault really, bringing me to all the shows from such a young age and leaving little 8-ounce gloves lying around the house and stuff that me and my friends would be, fighting with. But it got to an 8. I wanted to start at 7. He said, no, you can't have a fight until you're 11. If you still want to fight when you're 11, I'll take you to the gym. So that's what he did. He stuck to his word. And although he may not have wanted me to pursue a career in it, he's been, more than 1,000,000% supportive. I have so much to thank my dad for, and I couldn't wish for a better dad, and I couldn't wish for a better backing in the sport from him. So despite him not being too thrilled about me having a career in it, he's backing me 100%.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
Who knows?
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, who knows, in the future, maybe I'll drift over to the promotional side and stuff, because, we'll see.
Yeah, like I say, it's nice to hear, and I suppose it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because you get so much support, and I guess there are certain opportunities that people might think you would have through that relationship, but also it's difficult to manage that expectation, because as a consequence, people know who you are, don't they?
Definitely, like you say, there is a lot of benefits. I've been blessed to have had 3 fights during this pandemic so far. It was meant to be 4, but I injured myself in the fight the week before, so it's very blessed. I've been very active since the start of my pro career, and but as you say, with that comes a big target on my back. And every single person I step in the ring with, it brings out their A game. They're coming with it's going to be the absolute best version of themselves, and they're going to have that little bit more motivation to get one over the promoter's son. So it's a double-edged sword, but it's forcing me to improve, I suppose. So overall beneficial for me.
Did you set yourself when you signed those pro papers? Did you have any goal in mind, or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've always dreamed from a young age of becoming world champion, undisputed world champion. That's my dream. But I'd also love to, win. I'd love to win every belt along the way. The English, the Irish, my Irish heritage, British, a beautiful belt. I'd love to win that outright, defend it 3 times. Commonwealth, European, and then the world titles. That's my dream. And, I believe it's more than achievable. I'm only 21 at the moment. Time's on my side. I've got the right people around me. All I have to do is listen and, be dedicated. And I believe I can achieve that.
Yeah. As you alluded to there, your heritage and stuff, you spent a lot of time in Ireland and Northern Ireland whilst an amateur, and had lots of fights there, and you've got strong family connections. How much did you enjoy your time there? Do you have good memories?
Oh, I have amazing memories from Ireland. It's like I'm over there all the time anyway, because I've got, as you said, I've got lots of family over there, and I probably, having a fight in Ireland, it's easy. If you want to fight, you can have one. Like, you could have 3 in 1 week if you wanted to. I probably had more amateur fights over there in a shorter period of time than over here in England, and I made a lot of great friends out there who I'm still in touch with today. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to go out there for a little while, but yeah, Ireland, it's my home away from home. I got 2 homes, England and Ireland. So I'll be traveling back and forth from there for the majority of my career, I'd say.
Yeah. You've got quite an engaging style of fighting, haven't you? And you're not averse to a tear up, and we've seen that in some of your fights. Is that something that you anticipate happening throughout your career, or does your trainer try and sort of advise against that and box a little bit more?
Well, the last fight I had, it was the first time me and my new trainer, Junior, properly got time to gel, because we were very newly acquainted before the 2 fights just after lockdown. Like, I think he joined my camp like 2 weeks before. So it gave us a lot of chance to gel and work on the boxing side. And again, we have spent lots of time together since that fight, working on things and working on not getting hit as much and boxing. So the plan is not to try and get hit as less as possible. But I know that from my past experience, there is going to come a time in a fight when you're going to have to stand there and go to war. And I know from my past experiences that I'm more than capable of that, to stand there and trade. And I can dig deep when I need to. But I don't want to be taking too many heavy shots in this career, So overall, the objective is to work on my boxing a little bit more and get hit as less as possible.
Yeah. Who were your boxing influences when you were a bit younger?
Ooh, I'd say the guys I look up to. Well, when I was younger, it would have been my dad's fighters. I would have spent a lot of time around them. I was going to the shows all the time. Dave Walker, Darren Barker, Carl Froch, Tyson Fury. They're the guys I looked up to when I was younger. But as I've grown up, I've started to really enjoy watching the greats like Ray Leonard. I love Tommy Hearns, James Toney, Floyd Mayweather. I'm a bit of an anorak. I love watching boxing, Pernell Whitaker. So I'd say they're the guys I look up to now, and I try and take things from their styles.
Yeah. How does a typical day's training look at the minute? How intense is it? Originally, I suppose I would be asking with a view to that you're just ticking over at the minute, but now that you've got a date, will it step up?
Yeah, absolutely. I've recently stepped up the training. In the morning, I'll have to get up really early. I'll do either a hard run or a hard strength and conditioning session. And then every 3 o'clock every day, I'm in the boxing gym, probably 3 till 5 for a couple of hours at least. That's at the moment. I'm sparring about once a week. But when we get down to about 8 weeks left to go, it'll intensify again. I'll be sparring 3 times a week, and the training sessions will be a little bit longer. So it's a very intense regime at the moment. It's the first time I've been had a proper intense regime for a fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results on fight night.
Yeah, I think you said earlier about you've been a really active fighter, even through the pandemic. How active are you hoping to be for the remainder of the year?
The first fight of the year is May, so that only leaves us really 7 months. But I'm still looking to get a lot of fights in. Probably, I know that I should probably get to about 5 or 6. Have about 5 or 6 by the end of the year, hopefully. So that would be ideal for me, definitely. Yeah,
it's a pretty stacked division, isn't it? Both sort of world level, but also domestically. Heck of a lot of fighters at super welterweight, the likes of Fowler, Fitzgerald, and Cheeseman, even Shiraz, fighters like that. Do you know any of those guys, and who do you think currently lies at the top of the pile?
It's a good question. I'd say at super welter, you'd have to say, I know he's been active, but Scott Fitzgerald's at the top of that pack at the moment, I believe. And but he's been very inactive for some reason. I'm not sure why. And it's a very competitive division. There's a lot of great domestic fights there. The fight with Ted Cheeseman and Scott Fitzgerald was very close as well. A lot of people I know saw Ted winning it.
Yeah.
So Sam Eggington and who's with my dad, and Ted Cheeseman just had a really great close fight not too long ago. There's really potential for a lot of great all British dust ups, and even though those sorts of fights are probably past British level, to be honest with you, they're probably, they're pushing on soon to European and world title fights. And that'll be just in time, I reckon, for me to come up and try and get a British title or something in a couple of years.
Yeah. All that really remains for me to ask you is about the big one, if it hopefully comes off, Fury and AJ. How do you see that going, and how excited are you for that fight?
Yeah, I think it's a tremendous fight. It's one of the biggest all British fights there's ever been, if not the. And I think it's a tough one to score. I think it's a genuine 50-50 fight. AJ, he's really improved since the Ruiz defeat, I believe, and he's loosened up a bit, and he's got the power to knock out anyone. Whereas Tyson is definitely the best technical boxer in the division. and he's coming off that tremendous win against Wilder. So I really think it's a 50-50 on the night who wants it most, really, to be honest.
Yeah, all good. Well, thank you very, very much for your time, Michael. And from RingWalk UK, we wish you all the best in the future, and hopefully catch up soon.
For sure. Thanks a lot, Sean.
No problem. Take care, mate. Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Bye now. See you later.